Hi everyone and welcome back to LPB Racing. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope you enjoy the content that you're about to see. LPB Super GT season round 2 from Kyoto Yamagiwa. This is race 2, the endurance race. Hi everyone and welcome back to LPB Racing for the LPB Super GT Championship on GTSPORT. This is round 2 of the championship here at Kyoto Yamagiwa, and this is the endurance race. So race 2 here. And we are about to go through the grid for this one then. So it's the result of race 1. So Cyrex is on pole position. He's on the medium tyres. He's starting on the medium tyres because it's the medium and the hards that we're using in this one. You've got to use both compounds during the race. So Cyrex starts on the mediums. Techno in second place. He's on hard tyres, with Seat 1 also on hard tyres as well in third place. We've got Intrepid in fourth. He's on hard tyres as well. And just so you know as well, Cyrex is on maximum ballast. Seat 1 is on second place weight in third. And we've got Techno in third place weight, but he's actually second on the grid. And we've got Intrepid there in fourth with fourth place weight. And we've got Uncle in fifth. So all these guys now are weight free. So Uncle weight free in fifth. We've got Rodders and Blake in the two Motor Lawtech cars, with the Rodders on the racing hards and Blake on the mediums. We've got Jamo on the hards in the Zent Lexus, the sole one in the race. Firepower at 9th place on the grid with the hard tyres. Bradders is 10th, Red Bull 11th, both on the hards. Then Bidster is 12th. He's the last person with weight on, so he goes from first place weight to 5th place weight now. So it goes from 200 kilos to 40 kilos. So you might see Bidster come through the grid a bit. Got Stevie in 13th, he's on hards as well. Neil Farmack in 14th, hard tyres for him. And Keith trying a different strategy on the mediums at the back in 15th place. So let's get on then with the endurance race here at Yamagiwa, race 2. It is 35 laps this race, so it's going to be a long race. Just about 50 minutes roughly the race will last, so this is going to be a good one. So we're preparing for the rolling start now. The car's being driven by the AI, then we'll get control once the 3, 2, 1 go. He's done. You see the car stop there. We should go any minute now. Off we go, revs rise, and we are off for race 2 here, the endurance race here at Kyoto Yamagiwa. So down towards the first corner, and Cyrex gets a decent start, goes into turn 1, nicely through there, so things will start to close up through the next few corners. Uncle goes a bit wide in the Honda there, but again, remember a lot of these cars running the hard tyre now, so they've got to get used to that tyre. A lot of them being used to the medium tyres from practice in race 1. Rodder's already on the attack of the Honda, then he goes wide out of the little chicane bit there, and I think Blake's trying to go with him on the outside. Actually, Blake might even pass his teammate on the outside, and he goes to the inside, 3 wide, and bang, the teammates take each other out, and Uncle is left going slow out the corner, and Jamo gets alongside. Jamo alongside now down towards the chicane in the Zent Lexus on the inside. Uncle brakes a bit later and gets into the corner first. Jamo holds off, but the Motor Lawtech car's absolutely slicing the way through past Uncle. Not wasting any time, these boys. Meanwhile, further up front, we've got Techno falling back off Cyrex, and then we've got Techno defending the inside from Seek 1. There goes Blake and Rodders together as well. Everyone else just keeping in line. Out of the corner, we've got Seek 1 and Techno trying to get alongside each other. Techno and Seek's not quite alongside enough yet. The amount of challenges. Oh, Techno gets a bit hoppy over the curb, and Seek has another look. Meanwhile, further back, things are getting a bit more action-packed further back as well, as Seek goes round the outside of Techno. Intrepid could see his way through here as well. Further back, we've got Firepower Bidster. He's moved up into 8th place. He just passed Firepower and Uncle in one corner. Incredible from Bidster, so they'll have to watch out for Bidster closing up. Jamo's lost this pack, but it's probably a good thing because they've all caught up to each other. Everyone together through turn 1. Blake trying to go down the inside of Intrepid. Rodder's running it very wide, just watching out for what's happening. To Techno second place, Seek, Intrepid, Blake all together in a massive wrangle of cars. And then further up we've got Jamo, Bidster, Firepower. Incredible camera views here. Up the hill, Seat 1 on the inside of Techno. The Calsonic car going for second place on the inside. He's on the curb. Techno manages to hold it around the outside. Back to the group further behind, and Bidster's trying to go around the outside of Jamo. And it's trying to work. I think it's working. As you know, he's fell back as Intrepid now on the attack and passes Seat 1 for third place, trying to protect his teammate. And then Rodders finds a little hole in there, but then ends up getting the door shut on him. and Blake goes through. So swapping and changing. You won't think this were an endurance race, you think this were a sprint with the way they're all going at it. But now the train is extended because Intrepid's got 3rd place there, Techno's running away. But look, 3rd place to about 10th place are all in one train. Incredible. Through the penultimate chicane, seat 1 over the curb there. See Bidster's closing up on the back of this bunch as well. Bidster's about to start an attack on the Motul cars as he does down the inside, and Blake goes down on the inside of Intrepid and seat 1, and bang bang bang, there is a few door panels being rubbed, and lots of action here as we go over the line. Everyone together, there's that much action we can't even keep up with it. Almost 3 wide over the start finish line now. Rodders to the inside, seat 1 to the outside, he gets hit and goes off. Can't manage 4 wide into there, guys. Something was bound to give. Firepower makes up positions. Intrepid's going backwards. Seat 1's gone really backwards. Firepower out to dry with Red Bull on the outside, gives him space. Good racing room there by Red Bull. So it's all changed. Red Bull's gone backwards now. Seat 1 makes up 1 position after losing all them. So that was absolutely madness. So just to recap, we've got Cyrex in the lead, we've got Techno running away in 2nd, Blakeney's now up to 3rd, a bit robust but up to 3rd, Bidster is now up to 4th place, he passes Rodders on the inside, Bidster is on the move here. Now we know from the first race of the season at Fuji, with no weight on, Bidster looks to be the fastest car on circuit, so we'll have to see if he can get himself through the field, but also Cyrex and Techno are no slouch because they're pulling away, well they're trying to pull away, but Techno's getting caught by this bunch again. And don't leave Jamo out as well, or Intrepid, because they're actually quite consistent at the minute, so we'll see how they go. Seat 1 ahead of Firepower and Red Bull, and Firepower's really come alive this season, looking like he's going to be a good midfield threat here as he has a look on the inside of seat 1 or just defends from Red Bull, whichever one he's doing. As meanwhile further back we've had a car off. Stevie has gone off in 14th place, he's had a little spin. Uncle's back down in 15th as well. So Uncle, he's actually got no weight on the car. I just don't think he's getting on with the hard tyres, or he's had some kind of a coming together with someone. Again, we'll get that in replays later on. So Techno's down to 4th place now. Blake's up to 2nd, Bid's up to 3rd. Techno's lost places here, and he's about to lose another one to Rodders if he's not careful, because that Nissan looks like it's going to attack down the inside into the left-hander, which it does. Techno gives him the squeeze. No, you're not going to come round me, you sunshine. Tries to keep it around the outside, but no, Techno has to give in the end. Remember, Techno's got 3rd place weight on, so the weight penalty is not helping out here. The only person that's running well with the weight is Cyrex, but Bidster's up to 2nd place now. Bidster passes Blake down the inside into the chicane and takes 2nd place. So he's going to have to defend up the hill because he's got a little bit of weight to carry, 40 kilos up the hill. But he defends the inside. Blake trying to go around the outside, but no, Bidster holds the inside line, and Blake will not be able to get past him unless he can get a killer run out the corner, which he does. He gets a brilliant run out the corner, and Blake gets ahead back into 2nd place. Good move there from Blake, sourcing the opportunity, but Bidster gets a good run on the inside and gets back past him again on the penultimate corner. You don't see many overtakes there, but Bidster made it work on the outside, on the exit of the corner. So now his next target is Cyrex. Remember, we've got Blakeney on the medium tyres, so Blake could be quite strong for a little bit as well. That's probably why he was making a lot of moves early, because of the tyre difference. But few robust moves, but still cleanish. So we've got Rodders in 4th place, and the Motul Tech car's looking quite strong in this race. Sorry, I would imagine it's only a matter of time before Cyrex gets caught by any of these guys because of the weight he's got on the car. He's got 200 kilos on that car, and that is not going to help top end speed or cornering as you go into the long left-hander. Yeah, because look how close Bidster is already to the back of Cyrex. He's probably going to take the lead down here. He'll probably draft to pull out to the left-hand side, and he'll go down, side by side down to the chicane, and he'll easily outbrake the other Nissan with the weight on, and Bidster takes the lead of the race. And now, how long will Cyrex be able to hold off Blake and Rodders? He's going to go back at Bidster, but that's not really going to work out as Blake goes to the inside. Blake goes to the inside to try and take 2nd place off the Craft Sports car, and he does. Well, he tries to, but Cyrex holding on for dear life around the outside, not trying to give him too much of a squeeze. But then there we go, Blakeney gets ahead, and Cyrex goes down to 3rd. Rodders will probably be passed in only a matter of time as well. Further back we've got Jamo, Techno together. Jamo runs it on the grass. Careful there, Jamo, you don't want to make too many mistakes there, Sunshine. As Intrepid now has got another bunch of cars behind him. He's got 4th place weight on. I don't think he's enjoying the weight on this. So Seat 1 with 2nd place weight on goes to the outside of him. So Seat 1's not doing bad considering the weight on his car, but I would imagine he'll get swamped up probably sooner rather than later. Across the line, Intrepid, Seat 1 and Firepower. Firepower to the inside of Seat 1 and... Seat 1, he's on the inside. Oh my God, that's side by side. Thought we were going to run a bit wider than that, but Neil Farmack's pushing Firepower along, giving him a little bit of encouragement. But Neil Farmack actually, he's sticking his nose down the inside, but Firepower's like, nope, no, not having that. You can try again in a lap or so. Red Bull's on the back of this now as well, so they've all closed up to each other as Intrepid takes Seat 1 on the inside to hold off the attack. And we've got Keith and a few other cars alongside each other. Blake is attacking Bidster for the lead. Blake attacking Bidster for the lead, and the most low-tech car takes the lead off Bidster. So Blakey on the medium tyres is really going for it here. He needs to try and make a break for it while he can, I suppose. A little bit like what Bidster did in Fuji. So we'll have to see what he can do. But with Bidster trying to hold off Rodders now, and Bidster in a Motul Ortex sandwich in the Calsonic car. Out of the hairpin, we've got Techno further back. He's just struggling a bit with the weight on, and he's got Jamo for company now behind him as well. Meanwhile, into back at the hairpin, all this mob coming down at the hairpin. Intrepid still 7th, but Seat 1 literally right behind him, almost putting a Nissan badge on the back of that Lexus. We've got Neil Farmack. He's going for the overtake now on the inside. Neil Farmack is light in this race, so we'll see if Neil Farmack can make up any positions. He's just not quite getting on with the hard tyres, I don't think. He's trying to get past, but he can't quite do it. Firepower and Keith and Red Bull just in the background lurking, ready to pounce. But the battle for the lead is still on, and Bidster's on the inside of Blake again. Bidster is not leaving Blake alone in this one, and neither is Rodders. Rodders is attacking Bidster as well, saying, get off my teammate. But Bidster will fight, and so will Blake, and so will everyone. And Cyrex, I have to commend Cyrex actually, he's doing very well to hold on to the 4th place, especially with the weight he's running, 200 kilos on a car extra, and he's still in 4th place. It's incredible. But Techno then looking down the inside, can't quite make it stick. It's the long fast corners that are not helping Cyrex out here, and he's on medium tyres as well. Jamo goes to the inside of Techno looking for a way through, but no, just poking his nose down there, just making sure people stay awake. And out the top of the hill, it is Bidster takes the lead. Rodders in 2nd, and Blake down to 3rd now. And Rodders going around the outside of both of them to try and take the lead into the hairpin, and he does. Rodders takes the lead of the race. Bidster goes for the cut back out the corner. No, you don't, Sunshine, not that quick. But Rodders holds on, and the lead is in, and the lead it goes to Rodders then. So the Motor Low-Tech cars swap the lead, and Bidster's still in a sandwich. He just got another name in front of him. But Bidster closes right up out the corner as everyone else just having a bit of a trouble with the grass behind. Bidster defending now from Blake, and Blake switches back to the inside, but I don't think there'll be a way through there as we go out the corner. Bidster will get a decent run, and then they'll all be together down the straight again. Incredible race in this one so far. You'd think it were a sprint race, but it is absolutely incredible racing. Neil Farmack's cleared off from this pack finally, so Neil Farmack could be joining the front runners in a few laps. We've got Seat 1 with Red Bull behind him now. Red Bull has got no weight on his car. Seat 1's got 2nd place weights on, and Red Bull should have a nice move down the inside here to take 8th place. I think I'll get my teeth in. 8th place for Red Bull now as he accelerates up the hill, and Seat 1 will probably go back into the hands of Intrepid. And Keith not doing bad in this one either. Keith trying to slowly get the hang of that Honda, and the medium tyres probably helping at this stage as well. Back to the leaders. Rodders holds on to the lead, but he's still got to watch out in his mirrors because that blue Calsonic car and his teammate in the red car are still there. As Blake goes to the inside. Sorry guys, camera swap. Sorry, pressed the wrong button there, but Blaney goes through into 2nd place again. So now it is a Motul Ortec Nissan 1-2 here at Kyoto Yamagiwa in the endurance race, but remember, this is for now. They've got to try and get through the rest of the race mistake free, and also got to watch out for the strategies of other cars. Remember, Blake's on medium tyres, Rodders is on hard tyres, so it makes sense for Rodders to try and pull away and Blake to try and hold fort, and then Blake could possibly come back in the 2nd half with the tyre swap. But we'll have to see how long the medium tyres are going to last. That is another thing that we've got to take into account, is how long are the medium tyres going to last compared to the hards. And is it worth going super long into the race? Is it worth switching to the hards earlier? You have to see what happens. But those will start on, I've got a feeling that those who started on the hard tyres will have a little bit of an advantage come towards the end, because they'll be able to go on a faster tyre with less fuel at the end. Meanwhile, further back we've got Neil Farmack in 7th place, 127.6. good lap for him, and he's really closing on everyone else. As Cyrix now falling back behind Techno, so Cyrix loses 4th place finally. It took him a while to do it though, and Cyrix losing a place there to Techno in the Denzo Cabelco car as they go up towards the long left-hander. And Jamo looking down the inside now of Cyrix. As Cyrix goes wide, he's leaving room for Jamo to have a little poke of a nose down there, but Jamo again can't quite get alongside enough. Bidster attacking Blake again. Blake defends into the chicane. Bidster will get a good run out, but again Blake holds the line and there is no way through for Bidster. Good defence work there by Blake. Further back, let's look further back. We've got Red Bull, C1, Keith. Keith's in 10th place now. Firepower's gone down to 11th. Possible mistake there from Firepower. As they climb up the hill, Red Bull ahead. Oh, got a cut, yellow flag ahead. Oh, Neil Farmack's gone round. Neil Farmack's gone round. I don't know whether he caught to the eyes and was attacking. What's he doing? He's moving. Why did he go into the middle of the track while people were still there? He should have waited until the pack went past. But Neil Farmack, you were very lucky there not to really hold up anyone too much, because Firepower got involved a little bit, but luckily everyone got away. But Neil Farmack should know better than that. He should know to wait if he spun for a clear gap, because he knew there was cars coming round. But now he's rejoining 12th place in front of his teammate Bradders, so I would imagine that'll be a slight warning there for Neil Farmack for an unsafe rejoin to the circuit. So we're not quite as bad as F1 when it comes to the penalties, but we do like to make sure that we have people still respect the clean racing rules and make sure that people rejoin the track safely, not to spoil other people's races and cause a danger to other drivers out there. So Neil Farmack, yeah, you'll know, you'll watch this, you'll know. So Rodders then in the lead, Blake second. Blake closing up on his teammate now. Will the two Motor Lautech cars go into war? Because if they go into war, Bids is going to go right. Okay, let's get my teeth stuck in and let's see if we can make up a few places. But so far, it looks like Rodders is holding fort and Blake is actually holding off Bids. So still the same order. Cyrix in 5th place. I'm surprised Jamo's still not got past him yet, but it might be the tyre difference. But Cyrix's tyres are going. And also, guys, I should point out to you as well that the pit lane, the pit window in this race is in between lap 12 and 23. So it is actually the same pit window as it was at Fuji. So that's one thing to take into account as well. So the pit lane window doesn't open for another couple of laps, and Cyrix has got to keep going on these tyres. As he makes a mistake out the corner, Jamo could get alongside here. But he's on the outside, he's on the wrong side of the circuit, unless he goes for a cutback, which he might go for now. But Cyrix gets his foot down, but again, down the straight, the Lexus will have better top-end speed. Oh, Red Bull's made a mistake in the background. Red Bull makes a mistake in 8th place, and Keith moves up to 7th. Keith's got past all them other cars. Looks like the medium tyre working well on the Honda, and we'll see how that goes later on. But the Honda looking decent here, and 7th place Keith moves up. And now let's see if we can break free of this pack and catch up to the rest. It would be nice to see Keith a bit further up there after the miserable weekend he had at Fuji. Or the miserable race they had at Fuji. So, Rodders, Blake and Bidster still the same order up front. I wonder if any of these guys are just trying to sit behind, save a bit of fuel and just try and be careful, because they're not really going to make any more progress if they trip each other up. As Blake makes a little mistake though, and you don't make a mistake with Bidster behind it, because he'll be in there quicker than a duck to water. So we'll have to see how that goes. As Jamo is now ahead of Cyrix. Jamo gets past Cyrix. Would imagine that was in the long left-hander. As Keith goes through the chicane, he's got Red Bull behind him. Oh, Keith makes a mistake! Oh, I've talked about him too good, and he ends up making a mistake. I was just praising the lad, and now he makes a mistake, and down to 11th place he goes. So the tyres starting to become a bit of an issue, but not as bad as what Cyrix's tyres are, because my God, they're at melting point. Cyrix's tyres. There you go, front right, taking an absolute battering with all the fast left-hand corners around here. Meanwhile, up front, it is still the same order up front. Rodders from Blake, from Bidster. Looks like Blake is quite content to sit behind Rodders for now and see how things go. Remember, Rodders is on the hard tyre, Blake is on the medium, so if Blake can keep the same tyres going as Rodders, he'll be able to push harder on the hard tyres at the end, so we'll see if he can make that work for him. Techno's still in 4th place, but remember Techno's got a bit of weight on as well. We've got Jamo, the tyre saving king, hard tyres, and they've either been scratched, they've either been touched. So he's got good tyre wear on that car, Jamo, and we could see Jamo go long into this race. Cyrix in 6th, we've got Red Bull 7th, Firepower in 8th place, and Firepower looking like he's closing on Red Bull a little bit here. So Firepower on the move here. And Red Bull goes into the long left-hander. The Honda really good through the long fast corners. There goes Seat 1 in the second Calsonic car. He's a bit heavy in this one, he's got some weight on him. And Neil Farmack goes down the inside, looking down the inside towards the chicane at the bottom of the hill on the brakes, and Neil Farmack gets to move done. Does he stop the car in time? Yes, he does. Takes the apex and takes 9th place off of the Calsonic car of Seat 1. So Neil Farmack on the move again after the mistake earlier, and could have been a lot further up at the minute, but unfortunately not to be. So lap 12 then, pit window is now open. So lap 12 to 23 is the pit window. So will any cars pit straight away, get the tyres off and go for hards, or will, I would imagine a lot of people will try and go as long as they can on the tyres. Then we'll see a lot of pit stops towards the lap 20 to 23 when the pit window ends. So we'll probably, so yeah, they're all going round at the minute, so no one wanted to pit super early. And Sarek's now back in 6th place, and he's back now with Red Bull and Firepower and Neil Farmack as Sarek's weight penalty starts to take more of an effect and puts him down the field as Red Bull goes to the inside, and he's gone wide and I think he's trying to let Firepower through his teammate, but he's got to keep his momentum up, and Firepower just hesitating there, not passing his teammate, and that lets Neil Farmack right on the back of the group as well. So Firepower should have really followed Red Bull through there. Sarek was giving him plenty of room, but Firepower did not read that right, and he didn't follow through past his teammate. So Neil Farmack now could actually have an attack on Firepower, but Sarek now goes very wide and decides to let him go through, but then he lets all the others through as well. So obviously Sarek's not good there for the team though, because Sarek's having to actually physically move out of the way to let Firepower through, because Firepower was too hesitant to make the move, as Neil Farmack gets passed now by Seat 1. So Seat 1 then takes advantage and makes up a place at Neil's expense. And Sarek's now down to 10th place, so all the guys with the weight penalties moving to the back. And I know that the weight penalties are quite extreme, but they will be adjusted for next season. They will be reduced down to 100 kilos for the win, not 200, and every other position halved. So we were aware of this, but obviously because we started the championship, we needed to finish it the way that we started it. So now the top 3 are very close together. Rodders, Blake and Bidster all together now, and Blakeney having to do a really big defence job to try to keep Bidster behind, but Bidster will go to the outside, carry the speed around the outside, and actually passes him around the outside as well. Good move there from Bidster, using the car and the advantage on tyres as well to pass Blake with the medium tyres going off. I think it's about the time for the hard tyres to start making a move, but Bidster now has decided now is the time to start pushing, and he's now trying to attack the back of Rodders through the long left-hander. And can he get close enough down the hill? I don't think he'll be close enough to make it. Actually, I think he will actually. He might be close enough to make a move down the hill towards the chicane. He's alongside, he's not quite alongside enough. Breaks late into the corner. Bidster takes the lead back from Rodders. Now's the time to pounce. I wonder if Bidster was sandbagging a bit, just waiting for the time to go, and now's the time to go. So he might have saved a bit more fuel as well compared to others. I think he has as well. He saved a little bit of fuel, very minimal, probably about a quarter of a lap, but that will make a difference in the pit stop. A quarter of lap of fuel could make a half-second difference in the pit stop with the fuel, so we'll have to see if that helps him later on. Further out, we've got a spinner. Sorry guys about the cameras. There we are. Stevie has gone round. Stevie's done a full 360 down at the chicane, and Bradders is off as well, and Bradders is off. Luckily he goes, and then everyone else goes through, so some kind of incident there, and we'll get that in the replays later on when we get to just over the halfway distance. So unlucky for Bradders there, rejoined safely at the back. That's how you rejoin safely, Neil. Take a leaf off your teammate. But Jamo there in 4th place. He's ahead now of Techno. Techno going backwards with the weight penalties. Jamo into 4th position. Bidster in the lead, and he's actually now pulling away from Rodders. He's trying to pull away best he can. Rodders is still sticking with him, but Rodders will have to do a pretty stand-up job to try and keep with the Calsonic Nissan by the look of it, especially with the tyre difference, because Bidster's front right tyre looks a bit of looks in better condition than Rodders', so we'll have to see how that goes. Oh, he runs wide though, that's not going to help him, so we never know, Rodders might actually have a chance. There goes Jamo in 4th place, Techno in 5th. So Jamo again looking for another consistent finish here, so's Techno as well, keeping it consistent as well. Red Bull in 6th place in the Honda, the lead Honda in this one, Firepower, and then Neil Farmack in the Lexus. Firepower 7th place, doing very well in this one so far, but just had a bit of trouble passing his teammate, but got it done as Firepower, massive slide out the chicane, and Neil Farmack moves wide to avoid just in case he ended up spinning. So good reactions there from from Neil Farmack as we go into the chicane with Intrepid and Stevie, and they both survive through there. Meanwhile, back at the chicane, Red Bull under attack from Firepower now. Firepower, I think, has got better tyres than the Honda, and he has. And Neil Farmack's got about the same as Firepower on tyre wear. Oh, Neil Farmack catches the grass. I was wondering if how close do we get into the grass there. I thought Firepower would spin the car, but Neil Farmack catches the grass, gets on the power and spins the car around, sort of half spins into the wall, and luckily gets away with it. So still no one pitting just yet. Red Bull is in 6th place, Firepower in 7th. So no one deciding to do the early pit stop. Meanwhile, at the back, we've got Brothers and Uncle at the back there, still fighting at the back, and Uncle not getting on with the hard tyres on the Honda, I don't think, and just not having the overall pace. Cyrex is the first to pit with the maximum weight on, and no surprise, because look at the front right on that car. Looks like they might be able to manage the hard tyres all the way. Keith's doing the same, so I wonder if Blake at the front will follow eventually. There's Blake, he's on the medium tyres, and looking a bit better than the others were, but still, I would imagine only a couple more laps before he's in. Rodders is making mistakes as well, he's losing tyre wear, and Blake could find himself passing his teammate here, and he does. Rodders doesn't even bother to fight it, just lets Blakeney go. There's no point fighting each other because it'll just slow each other up. But Bidster then in the lead, still pulling away from the rest. Oh, he's pushing hard now. Bidster's pushing hard, he's purple. So unless he's coming in this lap, but I don't know, but unless he's just deciding now is the time to push. But Bidster then runs wide. He's got to be careful running wide there. The orange and the orange helmet with the Union Jack on the helmet is Bidster's style, Bidster's helmet, as Blake and Rodders go past there. Sorry guys, there's a bit of wind. As Rodders, so we've got Red Bull and Firepower together, and Firepower not afraid to go on the attack in this one. Good to see Firepower not afraid to get the elbows out. He was a bit afraid earlier with his teammate, but I suppose you can understand with it being his teammate, doesn't want to take him off. But Firepower probably one of the most respectful racers we have in LPB Racing, and now he's going for the inside of Red Bull, down the inside, really on right tight line on the inside, and goes through. Does he hold it on the? Does he hold it? Red Bull's going to go for the cutback here, and Firepower couldn't get it down to the apex enough, and Red Bull holds on to the place. Good defence work there by Red Bull. Saw what Firepower's car was doing and took the opportunity to go straight back down to the inside, and Firepower's got to try and do it all again now. As we go down to the hairpin, Rodders and Blake attacking each other again, so the two teammates now at war, and that's not going to help them both because they both go slow into there. Rodders does get back past Blake, but now Bidster, he's long gone. He's at the chicane, they're just coming over the hill, so that's probably a good 3-second gap between the cars now, 3 to 4 seconds, and that makes all the difference. Jamo in 4th, Techno 5th. Remember guys, the pit window is until the end of lap 23, so we've got until then to swap from the medium to the hard tyres. We've already had Cyrex and Keith do their pit stops, and they've gone from the medium to the hard tyres, so we'll see if they can start making up some pace now. But remember, Cyrex has got the weight on, so it's going to be hard of him to make up positions. Bidster goes round again, not pitting. I would imagine Bidster will wait with the hard tyres right until the end of lap 22 or 23 and pit then. Blake's in now. I thought Blake would be in sooner rather than later to get rid of the medium tyres and get on those hard tyres, because we're almost at halfway distance here. As we watch him in his pit stop, the fuel goes in the cars. There goes Red Bull and Firepower. Where's Blake going to come out? He's there he is coming out of the pit lane, and he comes out in 7th place, just ahead of Neil Farmack. So with the fresh hard tyres on now, we'll see him make up some time, and now he's put 3/4 of a tank of fuel in as well. Let's see what Cyrex put in. He put in a lot more fuel. Let's see what Keith did, and he put in almost a bit more as well. So unless they've gone safe, but Blake's not put as much in. But again, there's not as much of the race to do now, I suppose. But Blake now with the new tyres on, I would imagine he'll catch Firepower pretty rapidly here, and he is doing. You can see visually the gap coming down. That's fresh tyres compared to old tyres for you. And down to the chicane, so there's Bidster in the lead, there's Red Bull, Firepower and Blake together. So we'll just while we have a little break in stuff, we'll get the replays in of the first half of the race for you now. Here's the replays of the first half of the race. Okay, here's the first of the replays then, on board with Brothers. So Neil Farmack's going to pass him here, and watch what happens into here. So Neil passes him but outbrakes himself, then hits Uncle as he turns in. Uncle's completely blind to it, over the curve, then Brothers comes across and hits Uncle off the track, as he didn't really have anywhere to go really, but there was contact between the two, and Brothers then continues in 12th. Okay, here's the replay on board with Bidster, some action that happened on lap 2 onto 3. So Blake was up the inside of seat 1. There's a bit of contact there and he actually goes through past both cars. Intrepid gets massively squirrely out the corner, the rear end just goes everywhere. Seat 1 goes to the outside, now Rodders goes to the inside. Now watch what happens here as we go down into the corner. Rodders is on the inside still. Intrepid decides to give Rodders space but doesn't realise that Seat's on his outside and bang, takes Seat with him. The Seat goes into the wall as well. So both cars are Intrepid trying to watch everywhere and didn't realise that Seat was alongside him as well and contact was made. Okay, here's a replay of what happened to Neil Farmack then on lap 9, going up the hill towards the hairpin. He moves out to overtake Jamo and just outbrakes himself a little bit and hits the back of Syrix's car, which leaves Jamo with nowhere to go, and Neil Farmack ends up spinning. But now watch, we're on board with him. And then look, all the cars are coming around and then he decides to turn round, which is absolutely stupid. He should have waited for those cars to come past and then rejoin. He had plenty of time to see them. So, but Neil Farmack luckily gets away with it and gets down in 12th. Here's a replay on lap 11 of what happened to Keith. So going down towards the chicane, this is how he lost all his time and went near to the back of the field at the midpoint. As we see, he goes through the chicane, catches the curb on the power. It's on the power, the rear end of the Honda just doesn't like that. And getting on the power with on the curb, and that just sends him down to 11th place, unlucky for Keith. And then just after that, things go from bad to worse for Keith as we go down to the little chicane down here. Watch Keith's car ahead, we can see him into the chicane. And he just goes in a bit too deep, the rear end of the car slides and round he goes, and then he ends up right at the back of the field, unlucky there for Keith. Okay, here's a replay of what happened to Stevie on lap 14. Here we go into the chicane, he goes deep into the chicane, he gets on the curb, slides the car, round he goes, and then Red Bull goes through him, and he rejoins just as Intrepid passed him. But then Uncle hits Bradders into the wall, but then Uncle does stop as Bradders goes along the other side. You see he spins round there, and Uncle is actually waiting for Bradders. So good sportsmanship there by Uncle, and we'll get another angle on that now. Okay, so here's Uncle's viewpoint of that. So we're going into the chicane, and Stevie goes wide, spins, Bradders sort of slows down to avoid him, then Uncle goes down the inside, but then look, hits Bradders, and Bradders is trying to look what's happening around him, and Uncle just keeps tapping the back end and he spins around, but look, he does have the decency to wait for him now. Here's a replay of something that happened between Bradders and Uncle on lap 17. Uncle goes for the lunge down the inside, Bradders doesn't see him coming, there's contact, and then as they go to the second corner, there's contact again, and both cars spin round. So Uncle with quite an ambitious dive there down the inside, and sort of Bradders getting involved in that as well, and both cars turn round and get going, and Bradders is waiting for Uncle, thinking it's his fault, but Uncle was the one that started that with the dive. And now back to the racing action. And as you come back from that, I think we've got a car in the pits. It's Bradders, he's coming to the pits. He was on the hard tyres and he'll now be swapping to the mediums. He's done it a bit earlier than most people, so unless he's trying a different strategy, but remember he hasn't got any weight on, so it might help, but he's gone for medium tyres and he's put the tank right to the top, so put a bit too much fuel in there I think, but we'll see how he goes. But the Bidster's coming through now, and he'll not be far off lapping Bradders here. Bradders is going to get a move on, because if he gets lapped by Bidster, it's more or less game over for catching the rest of them. So I'll have to see how he goes further back. There's Jamo in 3rd place now after the pit, after a few people have been in the pits. There's Blake in 6th place with the new tyres on. He's already passed Fire. He's got past Red Bull. Red Bull must have made a mistake somewhere, but he's not passed Firepower just yet. So he's got to pass Firepower soon, unless he's going to lose a lot of time behind him. The new tyres, he wants to try and make up all the time he can on them tyres as you go to the long left-hander. Further back we've got Bradders there. He does actually have to let Bidster through with the blue flags, but I suppose now he can use Bidster as a marker and actually use him to sort of pull himself up the order a bit, so I'll have to see if that actually does help him in the long term. There's Jamo, he's ahead of Techno still, and then we've got Firepower, Blake and Red Bull down to the chicane with Neil Farmack on the back of this bunch now. Neil Farmack on the back of the little bunch of cars battling for 5th place. All together up to the hairpin. Red Bull defends a little bit from Neil Farmack, just making sure he's not going to go for any moves down the inside. And everyone together out of the hairpin. Further up we've got Techno, and Techno's actually caught back up to Jamo a little bit here, so unless Jamo's just saving a bit of fuel or something, he's probably saving a bit of fuel so it's a quicker stop, which actually might not be a bad idea here. especially for the second half of the race, because it means you can put less fuel in, less time in the pits, and also it'll be going on to the medium tyre as well, so it will be a bit quicker on pace naturally. As Blake then in 5th place, he's got new tyres on and he's passed Firepower out the corner, I think. Yes, he has. He's passed Firepower now, so he's into 5th place, and he's now got some clear track ahead to use those hard tyres. But again, it is hard tyres he's on now, he's not on the mediums anymore, so he's gone to the less grippy tyre, but they should last now. They should easily last to the end of the race, even if he pushes every lap. So Blake's free, and now it's Firepower, Neil and Red Bull. Neil ahead of Red Bull now as we go up towards the long left-hander, so Red Bull's gone down to 8th position now, just gone down 1. Through the long left-hander we go. Further down we've got Techno and Jamo. Jamo is trying to attack the back of Techno here. And Techno's actually, I think Techno's actually got through, because it was Jamo in front actually, so Techno's got ahead of Jamo, and Jamo now trying to attack back. Down to the hairpin. Further back, Neil Farmack, Firepower and Red Bull. Neil Farmack's past Firepower now. Neil Farmack in the 6th place. Firepower 7th. Has anyone else pitted yet? I don't think everyone else has pitted yet. I think we're just still Cyrex and Keith and Blake that have pitted, and Bradders. But look, Bradders is able to stick with Bidster now, which is a good sign. So Bradders will be able to get pulled around by Bidster a bit. He's gone 1.3 seconds faster as well. That's what you get for being in a draft and slightly more clear air around you, because he was having a bit of a spin earlier as well, which didn't help. Now Rodders is in. Rodders is in. He's the first one of the one of the first of the front runners on hard tyres to pit. So unless he thinks now, right, 15 laps left, that'll be enough to use the medium tyres on. So we'll see how he goes. Let's see where he rejoins at the pits. Not as much fuel in, so a quicker stop, and comes out in 8th position behind Red Bull and the others. So he's got a bit of traffic ahead as well, so that's not happened quite as well as he wanted to. Seat 1's in as well in the Calsonic car, but meanwhile we've got Red Bull and Firepower alongside each other, and Red Bull gets past Firepower into 6th place, and now 7th is Firepower. Now Firepower Firepower hits the wall on the way out, as Rodders had a little go there, but I think Rodders goes down to the inside now and passes Firepower on the inside into the long left-hander, so he goes through there. And we've got seat 1 out the pits on the medium tyres now, so remember they've got just under 14 laps, 15 laps remaining in the race. So now is the time to, I think now roughly be about the time to swap over, because remember the pit window shuts on lap 23. The end of lap 23 is the last chance to pit. So just to run through, we've got Bidster still yet to make a pit stop, but is he going to do it this time as he comes out of the last corner? Is he going to keep going round? No, he's going to keep going round. Techno has not pitted yet, he's got a pit, so has Jamo. Blake is in 4th, he's actually pitted already, so he's looking strong to sort of challenge Bidster up at the front. We've got Neil Farmack still yet to pit as he hops over over there. Rodders on the medium tyre, he's pitted already. Red Bull and Firepower still yet to pit, so Stevie, Intrepid, and then we've got Uncle as well to pit. So quite a few drivers already pitted, but not all of them. So we've still got another half a field to go as Firepower comes in as well now. Firepower's in for his stop, and finally the tyres start to get changed. Fuel will go in and he'll rejoin somewhere. I would imagine he'll rejoin roughly around 10th or 11th. We'll have to see if he comes out the pits. Seat 1 and Intrepid are there as well, so there. Remember, Seat 1's the one to watch because he was in the pits earlier. And Firepower now on the way out of the pits. And there's Seat 1, they're going to rejoin together as Seat 1 gets the momentum and goes around the outside of Firepower. Firepower, whoa, okay. Firepower loves his fuel company because he's put lots of fuel in that car. He did not need to put that much fuel in. He could have put probably just over, probably 2/3 of a tank in to easily get him to the end of the race. But Firepower has ruined his race with putting too much fuel in the car. So not good for Firepower. He could have come out right in front of those boys if he'd have put less fuel in, but unfortunately that wasn't happen. In fact, if he actually put less fuel in, he might be halfway down towards the chicane by now, but unfortunately that's not the case. Bidster's in, the race leader is in the pits now, lap 22, so we've got this lap and one more to pit. So Bidster decided, right, now's the time, let's do it, let's put some fuel in. And where's Blake? Jamo's in second with Blake just behind now. Blake looking down the inside into the last corner, but Bidster's already gone, just over half a tank of fuel, and he's in the lead again. So Bidster holds on to the lead of the race after the pit stops, and now we'll see a load of cars coming in. Jamo's in, we've got Techno coming in behind him as well. Neil Farmack goes round. Neil Farmack's leaving it very, very late in this race. Red Bull's in as well. Anyone else for pit stops? Any more for any more? I feel like I'm calling out for the any old iron. Any more pit stops? As we come out the pitch, Jamo then out the pitch, resumes in 5th place, and his fresh tyres, half tank of fuel. Jamo could be a threat in this second half of the race. We'll have to, in the last sort of third of the race, should I say. Red Bull comes out 7th, Techno comes out in 6th, Seek goes through into 8th place as Firepower goes into 9th, and Stevie comes out in 10th. But remember, medium tyres on that car now for Stevie. He was on the hards, I think, so. But again, all that will be checked after the race as well. Hard tyres still for Keith, and we pitted a lot earlier than the rest, so I think it's just Uncle and Neil who are now the cars still yet to pit. So up the hill then, Rodders and Blake, they've come out of the pitch and they're still together. But Biz just long gone down the road now. That was mainly because of Biz probably sandbagging a bit and saving a bit of fuel, but also the fact that the two motor cars here were battling, and that was slowing each other up, so they're probably losing a couple of seconds a lap from battling each other, just to get in the wheel, because it always compromises both cars on the line into the corner. They've got to slow down on the apex speed to make sure they can see each other, and it just racing together loses time than being on your own. So lap 23 now, so this is the last chance to pit. So Biz has done his stop, Blake and Rodders have done his. Neil Farmick will need to come into the pits this time, and he does. Neil Farmick comes into the pits, leaves it until the last lap of the pit window to come in, because once they cross the line this time, the pit window is shut. So Neil Farmick, fuel going in, remember doesn't need to put as much fuel in as the rest of this. Could be quite a quick turnaround for Neil Farmick here. Half a tank of fuel out the pits, Techno goes through and rejoins in 6th place ahead of Red Bull. So now Neil Farmick with fresh medium tyres can push now to the end. It's 11 laps probably about remaining in the race, so we'll see how that goes on later, as Rodders has now done the fastest lap of the race at 1:26.5. Remember Biz has just come out the pit lane as well, so blading on the hard tyres. And I would imagine Rodders will pull away now with the softer rubber on, with the medium tyres on, so they've swapped round now from earlier. There's Jamo in 4th place, medium tyres, half tank of fuel. Techno in medium tyres, a bit more fuel in his car, just playing it a bit more safer than the rest. Neil Farmick out of the pits, he's probably going to be one of the lightest cars on track with the fuel, because he pitted a bit later than the others. He's literally just come out of the pits now. So there's Red Bull in 7th. Stevie has got seat 1 behind him, so Stevie's got a bit of a queue behind him now. He's got seat 1 on his tail and Firepower on his tail as well. So the Raybrig Honda's got some work to do here. Where's Keith? He's just at the chicane, coming through the chicane in 11th place. Sarex is 12th with maximum weight on, Intrepid 13th with his weight on. Just going to look back at the spreadsheet, guys, to get the actual weights of the cars again. So the actual weights of the cars is Sarex on maximum ballast, Seek 1 on 160 kilos. We've got Techno in third place weight on 120 kilos. Intrepid's actually on 80 kilos. That's it, 80 kilos for him as he passes Sarex out the corner, and Sarex then going down to 13th place and Intrepid up to 12th. And then we've got Bidster, the last one running weight on, but it's hardly anything, it's 40 kilos. And Jamo now does the fastest lap of the race at 1:25.1. Jamo pushing then. He could actually catch the Motul cars if he keeps it up at this rate, because the Motul cars are on late 26s into the sort of mid 27s, and Jamo's in the 25s. So Jamo really pushing here. 10 laps to go in this race, and Jamo looking like a threat now. He could really challenge for these podium positions. Meanwhile, Bidster in 1st place there. He's actually because of his pit stop, Bradders has actually gone through, so Bradders will try and catch the car in front of him, which is actually Uncle, and Uncle's done his pit stop as well, so Uncle did his pit stop and he's on the medium tyres as well now, so everyone has pitted now in this race. Bidster flashing his lights at Bradders, saying come on, get a move on, otherwise you'll have to get blue flagged again. So this could be bad for Bradders, because if he can't catch up to Uncle, then he's going to have to let Bidster go through, unless Bidster pulls him up to Uncle. But now, yeah, that's definitely going to be blue flag situation now. So I would imagine out of these corners, Bidster will try and get past Bradders, or actually I think he's trying to push him along. As he go out the corner, Bidster will go to the inside. Bradders will let him go through on the outside. There we go. So Bradders keeps the outsider now. But if I were Bradders now, I'd stick in right behind Bidster and use him to pull me up to the next car. So we'll see how that goes on for Bradders later on. But Bidster with a big lead then over Rodders and Blake. That's probably at least a 9 or 10 second lead now over the two Motul cars. We'll just come up to the long left-hander, and Bidster's already out the chicane at the bottom of the hill. Still Rodders in 2nd place then with the softer rubber on at the minute. Blake with the harder rubber on in 3rd place. Jamo 25.6 last time round as well, so Jamo still in the 25s, and still he will probably quite easily catch there. Look, you can see him now. They can see him in the same shot. So Jamo will now try and attack. Speaking of attacking, Red Bull's having to go at Techno here, trying to get past into 6th place, but Techno holds on. Remember, Techno's got 3rd place weight on, so he's going to have to defend with weight on. And Neil Farmack now is up to 5th place, and let's see what he can do for the rest of the race. But I don't think he'll be able to catch Jamo and the rest, but you never know. We'll have to see. Further back, we've got Seat 1 and Firepower having a nice little battle further back. Calsonic Nissan versus Craft Sports Nissan. Number 27 there of Firepower with the number 88 of Seat 1 ahead. Seat 1 defending the inside. Firepower goes to the outside line, but Seat 1 again just making sure that Firepower knows, I've seen you, I know where you are, but you're not coming past. But if you go wide like that, Seat 1, you'll let him past. The Seat 1 goes very wide there, out of the hairpin, but Firepower not close enough to mount an attack. And Firepower's not really one for snapping in there and getting a move done. He likes to sort of take his time, calculate, and, well, do that. Just to force a mistake and go through into 9th place. So immediately moves on to defend, but goes wide. Goes wide, and Seat 1 back down the inside. And they're now going to be side by side down the straight. But remember, Seat 1's got 2nd place weight on, so Firepower will probably more than likely pull ahead, which he does with the lighter car down towards turn 1. So Firepower should retain 9th place. As Seat 1's got other ideas. I'll just go around the outside of you with weight on. Why not? The Seat 1 goes around the outside of him there, and we go down towards the next few corners, and Seat 1 holds his 9th place. Good defence there. Meanwhile, Jamo is right on the back of the Motor cars. I told you he'd catch up to him, and with only a handful of laps left now, they're going to have to defend for their lives. So they've got a big gap to Neil Farmack, so we've either the 2 Motor cars now, and have one defend and one try and run away. But I don't think they'll run away for very long, because Jamo's on the inside of Blake down towards the little hop over the left-hander, little kink, the chicane sort of corner. Very tricky penultimate corner as well with the big curb, and not very easy to pass into there either. But we go out of the corners. Oh, blah! Blake has a massive slide out the corner. Wagging his tail at Jamo, saying, "Nope, you're not coming through. Which way do you want to go?" You know, front end goes one way, back end goes the other. But luckily, Blake holds on. But look at the gap now that Rodders has got. Rodders has pulled away a little bit from Blake and Jamo, but Jamo's now on the inside with the superior grip of the medium tyres. And now he's side by side with him now through the left right, and he goes straight through on the outside. Fantastic move there from Jamo, put Blake in a vulnerable position. Blake had to lift out of it, and Jamo now is free to attack for 2nd place here. I told you early on in the race that Jamo would be a threat, because with the tyre saving that Jamo can do, I think him, Bidster, and possibly even Neil Farmack and Techno could be definite contenders for this title this season. Maybe even the Motor cars if they can keep up this kind of pace. So we'll have to see how things go overall in the season. But I dare say this championship is going to be down to probably at least 5 or 6 different drivers near the end, easily. So this is going to be a fantastic championship, and it is already. The first 3 races that we've had have all been epic, and this one is no slouch. This one is probably a good one as well. Red Bull in 6th place, Techno down to 7th now, so Techno's weight starting to take the toll on the car, and Red Bull is into 6th place now. Neil Farmack pulling away ahead as well. Jamo now on the back of Rodders. The battle for 2nd place heating up with every single lap. Rodders is now got him right on his tail. If he looks behind now, he'll not even see Alexa's badge. He'll just see the whites of Jamo's eyes. Down towards turn 1. Will Rodders defend? No, he's not even going to bother defending. Jamo's going to go down the inside. He knows Jamo's quicker. And Jamo, the 98 car, the Zen Lexus, goes down the inside and takes 2nd place. And there's nothing that Rodders can do about it. He just knows that Jamo's just got the pace in that car, and Rodders with the older medium tyres as well can't defend against Jamo on slightly newer rubber as well. And also Jamo is the tyre saving king. So it is Bidster in the lead of the race then. Bidster in the lead of this race. Jamo is in 2nd place. He's just took that off Rodders, who is in the last podium slot in 3rd. We've got Blakeney in 4th place in this race. Neil Farmack is in 5th in the Wakos Lexus. We've got the Autobax Honda of Red Bull in 6th place, with the Denso Cabelco Lexus of Techno in 7th. We've got the Raybrick Honda of Stevie in 8th place, having a decent race in this one. Stevie, not too bad. Had a few mistakes at the start, but he's finally got some good pace, and looks like the medium tyre is a much better tyre on that Raybrick Honda. The second Calsonic car of seat 1 is in 9th place, with the Craft Sports Nissan of Firepower in 10th. Still a decent battle between them two. That'll not be over until the checkered flag flies at the end, and seat 1 just making sure just making sure that Firepower knows exactly where he's putting his car. Intrepid in the second Denso Cabelco Lexus is in 11th place, with Keith in the second Raybrick Honda just behind in 12th place. Having a bit of a slide on. Don't think the Honda's quite suited to the hard tyres. I think it likes the softer compounds better. So hopefully better things for that Honda as we go through the season. Uncle is in 13th place. He's in the Honda, the Autobax one, and he's not had a good race in this one, but looks like the medium tyres have made that car sort of come alive a bit more. Again, the hard tyres don't get on with the Honda. Cyrex in 14th place. His hard tyres are about dying on him now, but he had to pit early because the medium tyres died. But that's what you get for having maximum weight on your car and leading the championship. We've got Bradders then in 15th, and obviously Will is not here. Will couldn't make this round, so we'll hopefully see Will back in the next round. So then back to the leader. It is Bidster in the lead. Long way in front. He's about to start lapping some more people as well. He's on lap 30, about to start lap 31. Times very consistent, all in the 25s until the last lap, which was just into a 26 with the tyres going off. So good consistent pace there from Bidster since his pit stop. And he's catching up on Cyrex now, the actual championship leader, so he might actually end up lapping him. So that'd be quite hilarious. The championship leader being lapped by another car. Jamo in second, Brothers third. They're all starting to spread out a bit more now. There's a few. The one battle that's still together though is Seat 1 versus Firepower, and Seat 1 is still holding off against Firepower. But look, they're both on the medium tyre. But if we look at the tyre graphic at the bottom left, if you look while I switch 3, 2, 1, there. Firepower's got a lot much more better tyres, but the only downside is with Firepower is the fact that he's got another half a tank of fuel in the car, which makes the car heavier, which is not good. So you see what's Seat 1's fuel, quarter of a tank, Firepower's fuel, just over half. So yeah, probably about 2/3 of a tank. So a big difference there in fuel, and I could only just imagine what Firepower could have done if he did not put all that fuel in the car. He could have easily just got away with putting just only like half a tank in, and that would have got into the end. But unfortunately, Firepower playing it too safe. In fact, there's safe and then there's daft, and I think Firepower just slightly went down the daft route. But you know, we all learn lessons. But hopefully, Firepower will know for next time. You don't have to quite put that much fuel in. There's Keith in 12th place, just behind Intrepid, so they're still together, but they're not quite close enough to have a sort of a big battle as such. But again, we've got Stevie and Techno now. Stevie's caught up on the medium tyres to Techno. And remember, Techno's got weight on in his car as well, and Stevie looks like he's going to be a bit marginal on fuel come the end, so he's going to have to try something. But he shoves it down the inside, puts his nose in there, but Techno gives him space, and he says, nope, not yet, not quite yet. But Techno then goes a bit wide and gets a bit squirrely out the corner. And Stevie goes to the inside line, into the hairpin, and gets the move done. But Techno carries momentum around the outside. But again, Stevie is wise to that, runs the car wide, and doesn't leave any room for Techno to play with. So Stevie then up to 7th place. And again, the Honda struggling on the hard tyres, but on the medium tyres, like I said before, seems to come to life. Seems to be a mid-engine trait. But one thing Stevie's really got to watch out for, and Red Bull actually, is the fuel, because the fuel looking quite low. And Neil Farmack as well, looking quite low. Rodders is looking alright. Jamo's looking a bit low as well. He's catching Bradders, and Bids are probably going to be alright as well. And Jamo's just passing Bradders there, so Bradders being lapped by Jamo here. Bradders hasn't really had a bad race. He's had one major spin which lost him a lot of time, but apart from that, he's actually been, I dare say, he's actually been quite consistent. Because if you look at the lap times, from lap 23 to lap 22 to lap 27, all in the 29s. So pretty consistent there from Bradders. Just a few little mistakes like that have just not helped him. Just that little bit of a slide, just pushing the car a bit too hard. The front end going into the corner nicely, but just pushing the car too hard for the back end to cope with. But again, that's something that you sort of learn in time. But now, look at this. We've got Blakeney and Rodders both been caught now by the Wacots Lexus of Neil Farmack. So Neil Farmack has been pushing hard. 26ers down the board, all the way for Neil Farmack up from lap 26 onwards. All lap 26, all 1 minute 26 seconds laps. And you can see Blakeney and Rodders there in the 27s, 28s. So I think Neil Farmack could actually find himself on the podium here. But it depends how hard Blakeney and Rodders are going to defend here, and how quick and easy it is for Neil Farmack to get past, because we've only got 3 laps remaining in this race now. Because we're now on to lap 33, then we've got 34 and 35 to do, so 3 laps left Can Neil Farmack get past the 2 cars ahead? We'll have to see. But further back we've got Seat 1 Firepower, and we've got Intrepid and Keith actually starting to catch up to these boys as well. So the second half of the race, or the last quarter of the race, things are really starting to heat up. Battles over the whole track, which is good. As Firepower very late on the brakes there and almost collects the back of Seat 1's car. Lucky that Seat 1 sort of let off the power a bit and moved forward there, because otherwise Firepower would have probably knocked him off the track. So he's got to be careful there. But he's now defending the inside from Firepower, who takes the outside line. But Firepower doesn't have quite the confidence in the car to go around the outside fully. Meanwhile, Blake and Rodders are having to sort of teamwork together and create a rolling roadblock, because Neil Farmack is right on him, and Blaney goes down the inside of his teammate. Rodders goes wide, so they're actually starting to attack each other now. And Rodders goes on the grass and he loses out. So Rodders now, he'll not get past Neil Farmack now unless Neil Farmack throws it away because of the tyre difference. Neil Farmack will really have an advantage here. Up to the last corner, so he's in. Blaney goes wide, he goes very wide. Neil Farmack could try and get it down the inside, but now decides to wait and just get out the corner. Blake gets good traction out the corner, even though he slid. But now down the straight, and they're both in the draft of each other. You see the Lexus closing up. He's going for the outside line. Blake defends the inside. Neil Farmack trying to hold it around the outside, but can't do it. Blake holds the line and sits on the line, and Rodders closes back up to the back of him. Penultimate lap of this race then here at Kyoto Yamagiwa. Been a brilliant race, this endurance race. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. It's felt like a sprint race the whole way through. Absolutely epic racing here. But now Rodders looking down the inside of Neil Farmack. But Neil Farmack now looks down the inside of Blake. No way through. But Blake goes wide, and Neil Farmack then gets the gap he needs and goes through. But now the fuel's down to red. He's got to watch out for the fuel in this one now. He's in third place, but he's got to pull away, but he's got to watch that fuel. Blake looking for a quick retaliation here. Down the inside, can't do it. Neil Farmack holds on. Blake, slides the car in the corner, and he's off on the grass. Rodders goes through into fourth place, and Blake throws it away. That'll be him probably in fifth now until the line, unless there's another major mistake that gets made. But so Neil Farmack gets on the podium in third place for now, and he's actually going to lap his teammate Bradders, and Bradders could actually do him a solid here, because you could actually let Neil Farmack go through and actually help him save fuel. So we'll have to see how that goes. But meanwhile, Bidster in the lead of the race on his last lap. He's almost halfway around. Well, he's not quite halfway around, but he's almost halfway around his last lap. So we'll come back to Bidster in a bit. Jamo's just starting his last lap now. Looks like everyone's managed to do the fuel perfectly in this one, almost all down to the red on fuel. So good to see people managing the fuel good. And Blake just a little mistake there, didn't help him out. Red Bull 6th, Stevie 7th. Again, Stevie's going to watch the fuel as well. Should be enough for one more lap easily. Techno's got quite a bit of fuel left. Intrepid in seat 1 now. Intrepid's through on seat 1. We've had a pass for 9th place. Intrepid gets ahead of seat 1, and Firepower as well. So Keith now on the back of this bunch. Can Keith make up a few places on the last lap? We'll have to see, because they're going to be able to finish their last lap here. As Intrepid goes a bit wide, seat 1 just keeping the tight inside line. All good, all fine. But Bidster is at the last corner. He's actually almost going to lap those boys. But Bidster is going to come around the corner to take victory here in race 2, the endurance race. Bidster weaves, flashes his lights, he's happy, he's won the race. Well done to Bidster, wins the endurance race here at Kyoto Yamagiwa. Well done to Bidster, and it's going to be, we've got another car finishing just behind. I think that was someone who's got lapped. I'm just trying to see who that is, guys, so I beg your pardon, 1 minute. It's Uncle who's been lapped, so 13th and downwards have been lapped. So that's them done. But Jamo comes out the last corner. He is going to be in second place and get some more good points on the board for him. Well done to Jamo. He finishes in second place in the Zent Lexus. Then I think that behind that Cyrex finishing in 14th. We've got Neil Farmack who's going to round off the podium in third place, with Brad as his teammate down in 15th, just being lapped there. So they both go across the line. Neil Farmack finishes off the podium. Rodders is going to be 4th. Blake in 5th. The tyres just went off in the last few laps and they lost their positions. Stevie's going to be a good 6th place, in the Raybrigg Honda. Good position for him in that team as well. So that's the more like the points that they need. Techno across the line in 7th place. Well done to Techno in 7th. Red Bull in 8th place. The second Honda across the line, the Autobacks Honda, in 8th position. Then we've got this lot: Intrepid seat 1 and Firepower. Can anyone have a last dash attempt at passing someone? Keeps on the right on the back of Firepower here. Down towards the line. It's going to be quite a close finish between everyone. We'll have to watch for pausing it in a minute. But it's going to be Intrepid, Seat 1 and Firepower going across the line. Very close indeed there at the line. But it is Seat 1, Firepower and Keith. What an incredible race that was. Let's take you to the second half of the race replays and then we'll get the results in and the overall points. Here are the replays of the second half of the race. Okay, here's a replay on lap 34 of the demise of the Motor Lawtech team. So here we've got this corner, Blake on the power, too much on the curb, and the car just goes wide into the wall, loses momentum. But then as we go up the hill, watch Rodders here. Rodders goes up the hill, up to the top, breaks into the hairpin. Looks okay so far, but then he goes very, very wide out the corner and then almost clips the grass. And then Blakeney does the exact same behind Blakeney, but worse, so that loses him even more time. Now watch Rodders into here, goes too wide, too hot, and then goes wide towards the wall and then loses even more time. So that was the demise of the Motul team. And now here's something major that happened on the last lap of the race. Watch here with Red Bull. We go down towards the last penultimate corner through the little right and then into the left. Watch this, he goes into the corner too hot, catches the grass and spins the car around, and Stevie's very lucky to avoid him there. But the Autobac's car goes round. Now he's going to try his reverses sensibly. Instead of turning the car around in the middle of the road, he loses 7th place to Techno as well. And now he's trying to get the car going and he will now finish in 8th position, but unlucky for Red Bull on the last lap. That was the second half of the race replays, and now we move on to the results. So it is Bidster who wins the endurance race. Well done to Bidster, with Jamo finishing in second, but 27 seconds behind Bid, so a massive win for him. With Neil Farmack in 3rd place, with Rodders in 4th, and his teammate Blake just behind him in 5th. Stevie finished in 6th in the Raybrick Honda, a better race for him this one. Techno in 7th. As we go over the page, it is Red Bull in 8th, with Intrepid finishing in 9th. Seat 1 in the second Calsonic car in 10th place, with 11th for Firepower. Keith in 12th. Uncle finishes 13th, with Sarex 14th, and Bradders rounding off the 15 finishes. And the fastest lap of the race goes to Jamo, a 1:25.1. And here is the overall standings after round 2. It is Bidster in the lead on 55 points, with Jamo second on 52, so in second place for him, good work. Techno 47 points in 3rd. We've got Seat 1 and Neil Farmack joint 4th on 44 points, with Intrepid just behind on 43. 41 for Sarex, with Rodders on 40. Uncle on 37. Blake on 13 10th. Firepower 11th on 23, equal with Stevie. Red Bull on 22, just behind them. Keith on 12. With Bradders on 9 and Will 16th with 7 points at the back. And moving on to the teams, it's still Calsonic in the lead on 99, but Denzel Cabelco shrunk that to 90 points now, so 9-point gap. Zent Lexus on 85, with the Motor Lawtech team on 70. The Craft Sports Nissan on 64, with Autobacks Honda on 59. Wakos Lexus on 53, with Raybrick Honda still trailing at the back on 35 points. So as we come back from that then, there is your winner in the Calsonic Nissan. Bidster wins the race. Fantastic win for the reigning champion. Well done to Bidster, and a dominant win there as well. He stayed behind the Motor Lawtech cars for a while and then decided, right, now's the time to go, and managed his tyres well. So good win there for Bidster, and a good podium as well for Jamo and Neil. So guys, we will see you all next time for round 3 of the championship, which will be at Autopolis, which is a real world circuit. So Autopolis in Japan. We will see you guys over there, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Thank you for watching the round 2 action from Kyoto. Hope you all enjoyed the endurance race there. Don't forget to like and subscribe to LPB Racing also. And next time, everyone, it's going to be round 3 of the Super GT season by LPB Racing at Autopolis. We will see you then for the sprint race.